What's up? You're in the Beat Sessions. I'm your host, Mitchell Weary. We're looking at the brand new record from Guided by Voices entitled Earthman Blues, which they released on April 30th. This is the follow-up to Styles We Paid For, which came out probably like 3 weeks ago. All joking aside, it did come out in 2020 along with two other records. They released 3 records in 2020. That is right. I had to look that up. I don't follow these guys enough to keep up with their catalog because it is extensive. Lead singer Robert Pollard is probably one of the most prolific songwriters that is still out there doing his thing right now. If you're not familiar with this band, they formed back in '83, and they have 30. This is their 33rd record now, and they broke up twice, and one time was for like 5 years. So it's pretty remarkable, just the volume of work they have, the consistency they have with it, and the unique style that Pollard and the band are known for. It's I think they've had like 50 members over the course of the career of the band too. I mean, there's been a lot of different people in and out of this project. So certainly get different styles on different albums. But I'm liking this new record, Earthman Blues. The title's great to begin with. But it shows off a lot of that older stuff and just what they do in general so well, which is create awesome melodies with phenomenal hooks. They basically blend those hooks and melodies at will into the most, unlikely song structures, but they always work for some reason. Their songs remind me of an episode of The Simpsons, basically, where you start with one thing and oftentimes you end with something completely different as far as character, plot, but how you made it there just makes complete sense. And that's what all these songs feel like from start to finish. 15 tracks at 37 minutes on this bad boy, so it's got just a really fast-paced runtime. Opens with a couple of dope tracks, good riffs on both of these tracks. Man-Made is a nice opener that in about 2.5 minutes, again, shows off what is so great about their style. Great riff, super bonkers lyrics. Like Robert Pollard's lyrics are exceptionally off the wall on this record. This track moves from this groovy riff into this orchestral breakdown right into the middle of it, and then it gets back into the riff for a little bit and heads on. And that's kind of what they do. I mean, and they've kind of basically paved the way for bands like Pavement and Neutral Milk Hotel and Lemonheads, New Pornographers, all these bands that have tweaked the style and kind of done their own thing with it. But what I love about these guys is the focus on mod style. I mean, you really can hear that in the lo-fi style that they use to record a lot of their music. Stuff like The Who, stuff like, I think of a cool band called The Eyes, The Kinks. There's just so many cool bands, the Yardbirds, that you can think of that inspire these guys. But psychedelic rock, there's post-punk influence, garage rock. It's really so cool again to see Pollard have so much fun with all these genres at will throughout the experience on this record. Dirty Kids School sounds like experimental Who. That's the 4th track on the record. Really am a big fan of that song. My favorite one is probably Lights Out in Memphis. It's got the best hook, best chorus in my opinion on the song. It's it blends into this groovy bass line as kind of like this bridge, and then hicks back into that big chorus for the outro. And so I'm liking the build and the structure of that song, and the melody is phenomenal as well. Sunshine Girl Hello is just another example of Pollard basically doing what he will at will. Song starts off with this kind of like psychedelic sort of Monkees feel, and then immediately turns into this country funk rocker and he sounds like Steve Perry on it too. It honestly kind of sounds like a little bit like Journey or like Rod Stewart maybe a little bit. If you're familiar with a band called the Flaming Groovies, they definitely captured that kind of like country funk style that the Stones were going for on Sticky Fingers. We're going to talk about that record actually on Sunday. But this record is just so well done. It was such a fun experience, and just from start to finish, buckle your belt, and it's just going to blow your head off. And what I like about their style and what I like about their riffs is that their records are so much fun to go back to. The ones that I've listened to and enjoyed over the years of theirs anyway, the hooks are so catchy, and before you really even have a chance to like enjoy it and like feel it, it's like it's at its end, and it just goes on, and it just warrants constant replays. This whole record does. I mean, if you're fans of the band especially, you're going to listen to this thing from start to finish. A lot of people are saying that it's one of their best releases in quite a long time. I'll leave that up for you to decide. I'm not going to necessarily argue that, but I am going to vinyl please it. Excited to pick this record up from the record store. I actually saw it the other day when I was at Zia, and I didn't snag it because I hadn't listened to it yet. I was almost positive that I would like it, but I wanted to hold off for this review. It was a busy week. It's been so much good stuff. I hope you've enjoyed all of the albums that were released on Friday this week. It is it's been quite a 6 days with all of you. But I hope you find this review helpful. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and we will see you next time on the Beat Sessions.